Hello and welcome to P15 Car Team. My name is Chris, and once again you are going to join us here at Teamsport Stoke, trying to get those last times in before the qualifying session ends in just over a week's time, I believe it is now. This race, however, was recorded around the start of August. There was a one hot lap quali straight out the pits, which I was awful, so that footage will never see the light of day. But then straight into a race. I was down towards the back, got a little bit of action. This first 15-minute session was incredible, so let's get straight to it. So coming up to line up on the grid, just in front of us we've got Jensen. To the right of him we've got my missus. Just to the right of me I've got Luke. I can't remember who was behind, I'm not sure if it's spin round. So I know it's going to be a tight battle to begin with, all three of them outperforming me in the qualifying. But let's see how I do when I get away.
Way! Early. Back on. way too late. Way too late. Much wider. Right, got some close up. Easy. Come on, I'll go far now. Use it. Too early, too early. Come on, that's it. Right there, man. Come on. Sorry! No, that's all right. We're in a fucking battle here. What happened? What happened? Say again. It cut out. Go. I'm not overtaking you like that. You know your position.
So you have to give Jensen there 100% credit. He was struggling with that cart the entire way through and managed to keep me behind. He was flying as best he can. I didn't like the fact that I took that position. I did try to give it back to him, but unfortunately, as we had passed the timing line, the start of the next race, I was ahead of him. It's not going to make much of a difference because I feel that I had a very similar cart to what he just had. And to be honest, for the rest of the races, that is pretty much how it goes for me. I'm happy enough with that. A pretty decent time. But let's get straight to the second part of the race. So lining up for the restart, Perico karting about to take us up the hill. Got Reese just in front of me, Jensen just behind. But as soon as I hit this up ramp, I can tell straight away the cart I have underneath me is going to struggle. I know it's on the yellow flags and the carts are limited, but I found it just getting up that hill was difficult. The lights go green. I kind of take a bit of a defensive line in there because I've sort of figured this is probably going to be 15 minutes of me trying to keep as many people behind me as possible. And with Jensen behind me straight away, I knew I would suffer. You can see there I'm already massively struggling. I know the tyres are cold, but it is and was a very difficult kart to drive. I tried to take my normal lines through the bottom section again, no grip, missed the apex by a mile, and straight away, cracking little move from Jensen, he gets straight past me. I'm going to try and leave all the action parts in this video, but as I said, a lot of the stuff was going on behind me, so we can see Jensen already disappearing into the distance. Reese has got past the misses, Jensen's already catching up. Let's see what happens with them. Now, I didn't know at the time, but the missus was also struggling with her kart. You can see here, Jensen does get a bit of a run as I'm looking behind me. I think myself, I thought she was letting Jensen through, and as I sort of catch up behind her, I can see how much she's struggling. She puts her hand up there, oh, she's letting me pass, oh, no, wait, and nearly caused an accident, which wasn't great on my behalf. She was just waving to apologise because the kart was that bad. She did pit not long after this just to have a kart change because she just had no speed. She can normally keep up with Jensen. Depending on the kart, she will be flying ahead of him as well. But it isn't the last we see of her during this race. Now, coming into the last 5 minutes of the second part of this race, I've realised that after a kart change, the missus was flying. She was catching up with me and Luke. And as I come round the second hairpin here with a quick look to my left, she overtook him. I knew it wouldn't be long before she was right behind me, and I knew it wouldn't take much more time after that before she was past me. But I'm not going to make life easy. Let's see what happens.
Nicely done.
And indeed it was nicely done. I did squeeze her, and I did say to her afterwards that was my plan. I wanted to literally give her a kart width and a hair for enough room to get through. Maybe a little too tight, she didn't hit the barrier on the way through, but it was a great move. She saw me go through, missed the apex, and hit a switchback absolutely perfect. But this is now pretty much at the end of the second session. We'll jump to the start for the third, but I don't think I've got much more to add to that because it did not go very well.
What is it with you? Every time it's you.
Honestly, being tail-ended by Luke was probably the highlight of the session in the end, as you will see very, very quickly. Addy gave Perico permission to start the rolling lap, and already foot flat to the floor, and the missus is edging away on yellows, so it was not going to go well. Perico just goes round the first corners. I'm still coming around the last one. I'm already thinking this is going to have to try and be a defensive masterclass, so when I throw it into the first corner, and coming around up here as well, the steering was terrible. The amount of angle that I was having to put into it, I felt like it was more than normal. I was getting oversteer, I was getting understeer, everything, no matter what I did, I was having to correct. And it just, already, I was not enjoying this session. Turning into this corner, having to massively oversteer my way around it, trying to get myself back across, realising that everyone was going to be trying to get up the inside. I had a little bit of a gap, enough to get myself back onto the racing line around here, and again, just as soon as I turn in, back end was starting to go out. I know there's not going to be a great deal of heat on it to begin with, but coming around here, really wide, even wider, really deep, trying to get in, and that was it. Corner was over, had to pull out of it. So I figured, you know what, everyone can go. I'm not going to enjoy it. Chances are I was probably going to go for a car swap at some point, which I did. I think I did it on the next lap. But I will end the video there because there's not a lot else that happens after this. My best time on the screen there, as you can see, 32.73. That was my best of the session over the 15-minute races that we did, the 3 of them. 4 attempts off my best. Wasn't an improvement on any times from BRKC qualifying, but I'll take it. You know, didn't have a great car, I can still get myself there. I'm happy enough. Currently sitting P2 in the heavyweight class. I think it's Tom ahead of me. He's not completed all his laps, but we've still got a week to go. I'm expecting that to be done. He's about 2 attempts, I think it is, off me, ahead of me right now. So I think I've got a chance, certainly at the podium for the RKC locals, hopefully getting through to regionals. But you bet I'm going to give it my best effort to get that P1 spot. But yes, I will end it there. Thank you very much for watching. If you stuck around to the end, thank you. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, leave a comment if you feel there's anything I can improve. I'm still learning all this, trying to get myself through it all, but I'm happy to take on constructive criticism, shall we say. But yes, this is P15 Karting. My name is Chris. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.